Okay, looks like maybe our technology is working. As always, you have to test the tech, make sure it's working. You never know. Oh, I see my face on a couple different monitors, so we might actually be going. All right, let's just give it a second or two to. All right, I think we are. Oh, we might be. All right, I'm gonna get going. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Construction CPA's Coffee Cafe. I am the Construction CPA Lisa Raish. We are dropping the hammer on cash flow problems so you can build things that matter. This week's topic is, let's see. Okay. Crafting your strategic roadmap, 5 essential points for business success. So we talk a lot about on here very regularly. We talk a lot about your job costing and the actual nuts and bolts of doing construction accounting. For this week, I really wanted to kind of take more of like a 10,000 foot view of your business, looking at things that are pretty common business to business, things that you should be looking at and working on that aren't necessarily construction specific, but really are general overall business specific, things that can help you, things that you want to go back and you review on a regular basis, touch points that you might look at, say on a quarterly basis, half year, at year end, and so on. So we're going to go through some of these key 5 points. But really a lot of the stuff is you're going to reflect on like things that you've learned over time. You're going to need to set goals, right? Measurable goals. And they talk about these things called SMART goals all the time. And you want to set goals that you can actually determine that you have achieved or didn't achieve. You want to do financial health checkups. You want to make sure you're using the right technology. We see a lot in construction. A lot of times there isn't a lot of technology, but there are more businesses that are leaning into the technology to support them. So it's incredibly helpful to do that. And then the last thing, as always, is getting the expert advice in the areas that you need. So accounting, fractional CFO, tax, that's our sweet spot. That's where we shine. But there are other things, for instance, for myself in my own business, that is not my area of expertise. So we, in turn, will seek advice from others in their industry. So, there are times, I preach, but I also try to live by the same things that I preach. So first, you want to think about or go back and you want to learn from things you've done in the past. We've all done things that don't make sense in our business. I know I have. We see it in our clients. But you want to reflect on those things. What can you learn from those past experiences? What went well? What didn't go well? Do you see a pattern? And I've done it in my own business. Do you see a pattern of things happening over and over again that you may need to adjust, right? And it could be anything from how you onboard new team members, how you work with your team, how you handle your clients, to actual, and again, this is for our construction clients, your actual projects. What went well on the projects? What didn't? Where did you see cost overruns? Where did you see savings? Are those things that you could potentially learn from and adjust on that next bid or that next project estimate that you put out there, the next quote? Are there things you can learn from that, especially when you are building out your projects, period over period? So can you learn from things that you did well, things that you didn't do well? And, if you spend enough time surfing around on the internet, watching videos and reading and so on, you will see that you'll see typically your greatest learning experiences are from your failures. So if there is something that you did not do well, what can you learn from that? What can you do differently next time, to ensure that, again, that same thing doesn't happen and doesn't keep happening over and over again. We look at the least on a quarterly basis. We set our goals. We set our SMART goals that we can actually attain, or determine whether we did or didn't attain them. And we review those. We review those on a quarterly basis. Did we reach those goals? If we didn't, why didn't we? What happened? Did something happen within the business during that time that we need to to rethink, right? Did something completely change that'll potentially change our goals for the next quarter? So again, it's constantly creating those goals, learning from them, creating the goals, learning from them, adjusting from them, and going on from there. So again, it's not just, I call it a set it and forget it. You really want to look at what it is, the goals that you have for your business, and what you need to be doing, moving forward, so that you don't keep doing the same things over and over again. So as I mentioned before, you want to set measurable goals. You will see SMART goals over and over again. You need to create a goal that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. You need to be able to determine that you did or did not actually meet that goal. So the kludgy, people sometimes create some very kludgy goals, like I want to increase my revenues 15% year over year. Okay. How are you going to do that? If you don't map out how you're going to do that, you're not going to be able to determine if you, in fact, actually met that goal. You may hit 15%, but it's hard to hit that if you don't actually have mapped out how you want to do that. And as you move through a quarter, a half a year, are you, in fact, meeting the goals that you wanted to, that you set for yourself? But you want to set a goal. I want to lose 50 pounds. That's great. How are you going to do that? You don't want to set the kind of goals that you can't put your finger on. You want to be able to say, I want to close 3 projects by the end of the quarter. On average, the projects are going to be $100,000 or more. And again, setting real goals that you can say, oh yeah, I hit that. I didn't hit that. But it has to be something that you can actually measure. And you need to put a time frame on it. I'm going to do it in a quarter. I'm going to do it in this half year. I'm going to do it in this year. That way, as you're going through the periods, and we always like to look at the minimum at our goals, or our OKRs, that's what we call them here, objectives and key results. We want to look at those on a quarterly basis to see if we are in fact meeting them. And if we're not, what's happening, and what do we need to potentially adjust? We talked about financial health checkups last week, but you want to be looking at looking at your financials on a regular basis. Are you regularly looking at your the revenues that you have, what you've earned in revenues, what you've collected in cash, who you owe money to, where the money is going out over the next 4 or 6 weeks? Taking if you have receivables, how much do you have in receivables? How old are the receivables? If you have payables, if you owe people money, how much in payables do you have? How old are they? Are they more than 15 or 20 or 30 days old, right? You want to look at all of those things, and that's really looking at and making assessments of your overall health. You want to look at your balance sheet. Again, how much cash you have, what you have for receivables, who owes you, how old they are. Are you seeing over a significant period of time that it's taking you longer and longer to collect? That, again, it all goes into an assessment of how things are going in your business. Do you owe money? How long is it taking you to pay people? Are you needing to borrow money? Are you using the dollars you borrowed efficiently? Are you, what are you earning for revenues? What are you collecting in terms of those revenues? What are you spending? Again, all of those things, you want to take that pulse, the pulse of your business, like what's going on, looking at even things like your pipeline. What do I have for pipeline for upcoming revenues, upcoming projects? You're all looking at the overall health of your business. And if you're looking at that on a regular basis, at the minimum on a monthly basis, you now can get ahead of, challenge it. You may have only a little cut, but if you're never paying attention to it, that little cut can suddenly become a big gusher, right? A big gusher of blood. And now it's harder to kind of rein in what's going on in your business. So if you're taking an assessment of what's going on a regular basis, where your challenges are, what do you need to do to overcome those challenges, then again, it becomes the mountains may still be there, but they start to become a little bit smaller. If we let it go too long where we're not doing a checkup on our businesses, that mountain becomes this really monstrous mountain and it becomes harder for us to climb. So you want to be taking kind of that pulse. I say on a monthly basis at a minimum. Depending on the size of your business, you really want to be looking at on a weekly basis, kind of cash coming in, cash going out, where all your moving pieces and parts are, to ensure that, you're staying on track. And if you are kind of coming off the track, what can you do to get you back on track? Next, we use technology. Technology has become a greater part of all of our businesses in the last 5 or 10 years. We're seeing more clients and more businesses in construction utilizing technology, which from our perspective has been super helpful. A lot of our clients are using a lot of the cloud-based job costing products that are out there. It helps us to see exactly what's going on, where they are in their projects. We can help them determine where there may be deficiencies in their projects, where projects are going financially overrun, where there are savings. Are we starting to see savings across the board on some of the jobs? So maybe this is something we can learn from. It helps us to get more of that real time, instead of waiting until the end of the month or after the end of the month to do a reassessment of what has happened. With these cloud tools and more clients using the job costing products that really give us that real-time information, we can help them get ahead of challenges that may be coming up on the horizon because we can see them today or tomorrow. It's not that we've waited 4-6 weeks till the month is closed and now we're going back and looking at, this history. With these cloud tools, we have the ability to see what happened last week, which if you're working, on a project and it's an extended project for an extended period of time, a week can be a really long time in a lot of these projects. There could be a significant amount of work being done, dollars going out the door. And if something goes off the rails in that period, we want to be able to kind of rein it back in if we can, make some adjustments. And again, the horse isn't, out of the barn, might be, but it's not so far down the road that it's going to be hard to kind of rein it back in. So we love using the tool, to be completely honest. It helps us tremendously when we're working with our clients, to really see where they are, at this capturing at this one moment in time where they are in their projects. We could be, towards the end of a month and actually see what's pretty much gone on during that month instead of waiting until the middle of the next month to review that month. So the technology is super helpful. We highly recommend that our clients use it. It is a lot easier for us to support our clients when they're using those tools because we can really dig into those costs and really help them understand where they're spending their money versus if they're still kind of using, we'll have some clients that are still, job costing in their head. That can be a challenge. So we always recommend that we get that into a place where we can kind of share that information. So we really we find it very helpful when our clients are using some of the cloud tools. And there are a number of products out there. I could name a few, but frankly, there are a zillion of them. You just need to find the right cloud tool for your business. Especially we see in construction, there are a number of tools. Picking your tool really speaks to what it is that you're doing. If you're the type of business where you're going from one client to the next day after day, you might want something more customer facing, something where people can pay you right away, right there. If you're the plumber and you're doing the repairs at someone's home, you want somebody to give them an invoice right away, they pay you right away, that kind of a thing. If you're a larger contractor, you're doing larger commercial projects, you might have a little bit of a different experience or need to have a different experience with with the product that you're using. Again, there is no one size fits all. You really need to look for a product that works best for you and your business and the type of business that you have. And the last, and we always recommend that you speak to those that have the expertise in the area that you're looking for. Our area happens to be accounting, finance, tax. I'm a business owner, just like all of you out there. There are things that I do well. For instance, again, I'm a finance person. I'm a numbers person. I dig into the numbers. I can dig into my own numbers, but I'm not a marketing person, right? So I would scope out marketing to someone else. I wouldn't do it myself. So we tell our clients the same thing. Do the things that you're good at. If you're good at swinging a hammer and running projects, then do that. Leave the other pieces of your business that is not what you like to do to those people, whether it be the finance, whether it be your marketing, whether it be your sales, whatever that is. Get the right people to surround you in your business to do the things that they're good at so you can do the good thing that you're good at, the thing that you're in your zone, you're great at, and you can keep going after whatever it is. If you're a great salesperson but you're terrible at managing a project, then you get yourself a project manager that can manage the day-to-day of that project. Because if you're a great salesperson and you can go out and keep selling more and more projects, that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be managing a project that you don't like, or doing your own social media, right? Because you need to do marketing for your business. You get the people to support you in the area that you need. If you need someone like us to do your accounting, your finance, your tax work, we're here. If you need someone to do your marketing, you scope out and use an outside marketing company to support you to get all the leads in, because you're a great salesperson and you can go out and sell those, but you need somebody to help you get those leads in the door. You really need to seek advice and get the expertise in the areas where you don't feel is your sweet spot. You are in your zone of genius. Get the help, because that is really the best way to do things. Get out there, network in your local area, find people to support you. We happen to do business throughout the country, so we're constantly building our network with professionals throughout the country so that we can support our clients that are in various parts of the country with either social media support, legal support, anything like that they might need. So go out, meet with those in your own industry, see what they're doing, who they're using, but go out and build that group of people around you. When we see the really well-run companies, the most successful companies, the CEO isn't the chief, the cook, and the bottle washer. They're doing one thing that they're absolutely great at. So bring those people in around you to support you to do the things that you need to do so that you can go out and, again, sell more projects. If you're great as the PM on the project, then go out and manage your projects, whatever it is. But you need to be able to get other people to kind of support you on your journey, because being a business owner can be a lonely journey sometimes. So you need to get those people around you, whether they be in your industry or in other industries. But, build that support network so that if you were to need somebody, you'd be able to just call up or tap someone and say, hey, can you help me out? Or, hey, do you have a referral for? That's really the most important thing. I happen to have a network of my own. I was out last night. I tapped someone in my network and said, hey, I have a colleague that needs XYZ. Can you help? And he's like, yeah, I have someone. And that's where you want to kind of seek the help and the support across the board, and build that network around you of all the people that you need in your business, as well as supporting other people too, because that's where it also comes back to you. So build your network, support your network, and your network will support you. So what did we go over today? I know we went over a bunch of stuff today. So first thing that we went over is you're going to reflect on and learn from the things that you've done in the past. Again, we've all done crazy things. We've all done things that have not worked out in our businesses. We need to learn from those things. Next, you need to create SMART goals, set measurable goals, goals that you can actually determine if you did or did not achieve them. And you need to put a time frame on that. It's going to be a month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is. But, in that period, did I achieve the goal that I had put down that I wanted to achieve? Next, you need to make sure that you're performing regular financial health checkups at the least on a monthly basis, depending on the size and the pace of your business. If you've got a larger and more complex business and a lot of moving pieces and parts, it actually really should be once a week. Next, you want to make sure you're using technology in your business. I know technology can sometimes be a swear word, but you've got to use those tools. Use the tools so that you can become efficient in the things that really need to move smoothly so that you can lean into the other things that really need the attention in your business. And the last is seek expert advice where it's needed and build your network around you so that you can tap those in your network to support you in an area that is not your sweet spot, that is not your zone of genius, so that you can go out and do the work that you need to and have the others supporting you. As always, we look forward to seeing you here every Friday morning. I hope you have had a fabulous week. I hope you have a fabulous upcoming weekend, and we'll see you next week here on the Construction CPA's Coffee Cafe. Have a great week.